See, this is the type of information when I know, oh, I'm about to cook in this video. Got me fired up. It's happening, folks. Now the experts are getting a little bit concerned. This article here is titled, "Is the U.S. banking system on the edge of collapse?" This is coming from expertfile.com, but it's research that was written by Florida Atlantic University. And if you've been keeping up with banking news, Florida Atlantic University has been doing some great research over there. They have some good numbers over there. We may get into that a little bit later. But it begins here. We'll cover this first, and we'll get into some XRP news. Then we have some Bitcoin news. We'll probably end off with that. But it begins here. The recent bailout of First Foundation Incorporated. Did you hear about that? Parent of First Foundation Bank. Wait a minute. Why were they bailed out? What was it that put them in such a precarious position? Oh, it's coming. But wait a minute. Wait a little bit more. What put them in such a precarious position? How many banks are in the same position that they're in right now? That's the mind-blowing part. People are not paying attention. They can't get around these facts. You can't. There's no way. Every single expert, they're doing polls out there. They're doing research. They're putting the data out there. The numbers are out there. Now, when you realize what put them at risk and you see the numbers of the others, you're going to be mind blown. This is not a joke. No exaggeration. You're going to be mind blown. I promise. I can't promise. I mean, it's subjective, right? But if you're not mind blown, I don't know what would. But let's keep going. Be careful. Not financial advice. Be careful in this legacy financial system. You do what you want to do. I like to be cautious. I like to protect my value. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. A little bit fired up because this is good information here. It was the parent of First Foundation Bank, and they were bailed out by a group of investors. This has reignited concerns about the stability of the U.S. banking system. Wait a minute. The regular people are not that concerned about the banking system. I know, because they tell me all the time how it's fine. The government told them it's fine. The regular people go against me a lot. So if I'm going to go by that, not you, you're way beyond the regular people. I give you a lot of credit, a lot of respect here on this channel, because I know there's a lot of brilliant minds out there. We're not the regular people. The masses is what I'm talking about. They're not concerned with the stability of the U.S. banking system, not according to what they tell me. But if that's not who's concerned, then who has it reignited concerns within? Right. You see, they know something's coming. That's why they're all preparing. They're all getting gold. It's not just regular customers, regular retail getting out of the banks and going into money market funds and the non-banking financial institutions that have the money market accounts. Remember the two separate things there with the cards and stuff. It's not just regular people getting out of the regular banks to protect themselves and going into other stuff. It's not. So then why are those others doing the same? Right? All right. Something's coming, is building. So now let's continue on here. So it has reignited concerns about the stability of the U.S. banking system, specifically banks exposed to debt. Here we go. If you have this piece of information, which you've had, if you've been on this channel for a long time, you need to look into the numbers. I'm telling you, it's insane. And if you don't want to go on a long search, go to the members only section. One of the last 2 members only videos that I put out this week has the numbers in it. It's either the last 2 or 3 videos. In one of those, you're going to see the cropped image of the numbers. Let that blow your mind, because it definitely blew my own. And I believe firmly those numbers, well, I'm going to let you look at the numbers yourself, okay? But exposed to debt in commercial real estate market teetering on the verge of collapse. So far this year, I've seen every real expert. This is what they do for a living. They get paid money. They've been saying the same thing. They cannot get around these numbers. New financial system coming in hot, or they're not going to make it. Now that's one reason why I believe they're rushing everything. If you haven't smashed the like button by now, please do. Here we go. Let's continue on. First Foundation Bank reported more than $6 billion in commercial real estate. You think that's a lot? You think that's something? In commercial real estate, in comparison to others? And commercial real estate mortgages on its financial statements for the first quarter of the year. The first quarter. Equal to almost 6 times. 6 times its equity. When I listen, I can't say it enough. When you see the numbers, it's going to blow your mind. 6 times its equity capital and almost half of its $13.6 billion in total assets. Bank regulators consider any exposure greater than 3 times equity to be excessive. Now you know why I reacted the way that I did. United States better get ready. I don't know when these things are going to happen. I have no idea. I just know when it does, people better get ready. I'm prepared. That's all I know. I'm prepared. So anyway, so it says an analysis by Rebel Cole, PhD. Rebel Cole, PhD, Lynn, eminent scholar, chaired professor of finance in the College of Business at Florida Atlantic University. That's how you know it's reputable. Previously found that First Foundation Bank was the 4th highest among the largest banks in the nation in terms of its exposure to commercial real estate debt. Now, wait a minute. Remember, this is one. I like to get multiple sources, read multiple sources on these numbers, read multiple sources on their calculations. Don't just go by one. This is one individual's. Okay, we take that into account, and then you look at others. There's a lot of experts pouring over this right now. But let's end off with this little piece. I'm going to get onto another little bit here. It says, it's likely, my goodness, it's likely that other banks are also at similar risk. They're trying to be really, really nice. Like I said, you have to be careful when you deal with some of these powers, some of these large entities. They have money. They make things happen. And some of those things that they can make happen to those who go against them are not good. It's not good. It's a risky business to look into them. It really is. So now, let's move on here. Bear with me one moment. I want to read this little tidbit here. Now, this article is coming from business.fau.edu. And it's titled, U.S. Banks Exposure to Risk from Commercial Real Estate Screener. And it begins as such. Many financial experts in the banking industry have warned about the future losses on commercial real estate mortgages as hundreds of billions of dollars in loans reprice in a high rate environment over the coming year. That is so crushing. As most CRE mortgages are 5-year balloon mortgages, many of these loans that originated in a lower rate environment in 2019 are currently rolling over and need refinancing this year when rates are well above 7%. The same concern carries over in 2025 for CRE loans originated in 2020. There's about to be a big problem. The imminent refinancing of loans combined with more commercial property selling at a discount relative to pre-redacted values have exposed vulnerabilities in the banking system, not only to commercial real estate mortgages, but also to commercial real estate construction loans and unused commitments to fund commercial real estate mortgages and loans. A completely different aspect we haven't even begun to delve into yet. Do you see the multitude of problems these banks have, the banking system have? Even if you negate and take away everything that's going on with the new financial system, the system has a problem. No matter how you look at it, there's a major problem there. All right, so I'm going to leave that one right there. I may post this one in the members only section. We'll see. It has some numbers I want the people to see. And then they'll have those numbers in addition to the numbers we went over in one of the last members only videos. Now our vision of what's going on is becoming a little bit more clear. I like to have multiple sources. All right. So now let's move on here. We got a little bit of, let's see what we have here. I wanted to jump to the XRP news. So let me move on to the article. Bear with me one moment. All right. So I had a JP Morgan article up after this, but we're not going to do that right now. Now, this article here is titled U.S. SEC Closed Door Meeting, Implications for Ripple, Binance, and the Crypto Market. My apologies. U.S. SEC Closed Door Meeting is triggering a massive reaction in the ecosystem as it concerns Ripple, Binance, and the crypto market. According to reports, the United States Securities and Exchange Commission might conduct a crucial meeting to discuss key issues. These issues include institution and settlement of injunction actions and administrative proceedings, resolving litigation claims, and enforcement proceedings. The back-to-back meeting has sparked speculation on potential implications for Ripple, Binance, and the crypto market. So next section is titled SEC Closed Door Meeting Sparks Buzz in Crypto Community. The U.S. SEC recently convened a closed door meeting on Thursday, July the 11th, as part of normal routine to discuss key matters essential for the commission. However, another meeting scheduled next week on a little typo here. It says June 18th, but it's not. I mean, they mean July the 18th. A little typo. On July the 18th has sparked buzz in the crypto community, especially after the recent decision in Binance lawsuit and a major pending ruling in Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. I think the best thing for the SEC to do right now, they're definitely not coming out on top on this, in my humble opinion. It's just to concede to Ripple, let them pay the fine that they want, somewhere around $10 million, whatever it is. Maybe come down to like 15 or 20 million. Maybe they'll settle. I don't think Ripple will. I think they're going to force their hand now that they have bent the knee, so to speak, one time. They'll probably do it again, which is why you can't show people weakness, because if you show them weakness one time, they may believe you'll show it again. But I think they need to get past that, and then they'll be able to rack up some victories against other companies. Other companies just don't have the money to battle the SEC, right? But then it's sort of a double-edged sword, because at that point it's a little bit too late, at least for the utility coins. Utility coins, a lot of them are going to get clarity once the SEC finishes with Ripple, because we pretty much won. We pretty much came out on top and set a precedent for all other utility coin companies that have a similar use case to XRP and XRPL. At least that's how I look at it. I'm not a lawyer, but it's just my humble opinion. Now, it says here, as per the SEC meeting, commissioners, counsel to the commissioners, the secretary to the commission, and recording secretaries will attend the meeting on July 18th. The matter of the SEC closed door meeting is on topics: institution and settlement of injunction actions, institution and settlement of administrative proceedings. Once again, I think they reiterate what was at the top. Resolution of litigation claims, other matters relating to examinations and enforcement proceedings. Notably, the SEC officials mostly discuss topics on these matters unless a change in the meeting agenda for publication in the Federal Register. All right, that was a little bit strange how they worded that. All right, so now we're going to move on from here. Let's hope things continue to go well. It looks like they are coming to a close. So now, this is a little bit of a fun article here, in my humble opinion. At least I hope it is. This article is titled, "Is XRP about to break out? The signs point to yes." And if XRP breaks out and rises, then XLM rises. If Bitcoin rises, then XRP rises. Then XLM rises. Everything rises if Bitcoin rises, but XLM has a direct tie to XRP. So it seems like every time XRP goes up, XLM goes up a little bit. It happens more in bull runs, but still there is that connection there. It says here, the post is XRP about to break out? The signs point to yes. It appeared on Coinpedia FinTech News. It says here, we have seen Ripple's XRP take investors on a wild ride with huge highs and tough lows. No coin in the top 10 has dropped more from its all-time high than XRP. Okay. It's down 86%. Well, tell me, do you have something positive to say here today? The perfect storm for XRP. Sounds positive. Let's see if they actually deliver on that. Ripple's price has been hovering around a strong support zone at 28 cents since 2021. Hitting this level multiple times. We can see that in the chart below. They have a little chart here. This zone has proven to be a solid floor, preventing further drops. There was a little bit of a rise today. I got some notifications. I don't always receive them, but it looked like the price went up a little bit. I'm assuming Bitcoin's price also probably went up a little bit. Now Ripple, and then it went down a little bit. Also, people continue to sell a little. Now Ripple is testing the critical resistance at 66 cents. If XRP can break through this barrier, the next target is 95 cents. Okay, this looks like it could set the stage for a significant rally because XRP has been stuck in this pattern for 5 years. So the breakout potential is huge. When the court case ends, sky's the limit. Anything is possible. Court case first. Then I look for an explosion in price. How long it'll last, I don't know. I like to keep saying that so everybody gets to hear it because not everybody watches every single video. And it's true. But until then, yeah, I think that we're going to see some wild movements in price. I'm not sure unless Bitcoin explodes. That could be a major catalyst for the price rising as well. But the biggest catalyst is once that court case is 100% over. And then after that, other catalysts, when we get some more partnership announcements, it says the craze for this coin has never been abolished as Ripple is still a strong layer 1 blockchain. Well, they've been doing a great job. All types of partnerships they've been bringing in. I mean, they've been expanding. They've continued to build. Nothing has changed in my mind. I don't know about other people. But I will say I've seen other people turn their back on XRP. That's up to them. What can you do about that? Nothing you can do about that. Let the people make the decisions they want to make. But I wouldn't say the craze has never been abolished. It's just those who know. If you believe, you stand in your ground, that's what you're doing. Everybody is different, right? So it says here, then it talks a little bit about the SEC, but we don't need to go into that right now. So now let's move on here. Some articles, they're a little bit scattered. They have some good information, but I don't know. They lack substance at times, I feel. So now, this article here is titled, and this goes right along with the early articles, the early chapters. The banks are in trouble. This article is titled, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo suffer $3.5 billion in losses as U.S. banks report massive surge in bad debt. Massive surge. Big problems ahead in the future for the banks. This is why they're scrambling to look for a solution and to integrate with the new financial system. Just my humble opinion. Two of the largest banks in the U.S. are declaring a loss on a staggering $3.5 billion. You know why it talks like that sometimes, like right after I read the title? Because right after I read that title, a giant ad popped up that I had to search for the X button. You know how they hide that X, so you have to look at the ad sometimes? So I'm like waiting for that X to pop up. Then I can click it off and then I can read the article. That's why I give that little extra verbiage, or I might pause. Right. So now you know. It says two of the largest banks in the U.S. are declaring a loss on a staggering $3.5 billion in debts that customers can't pay back. JP Morgan Chase says it's net. They can't pay back. This goes right along with the information on people are having problems with jobs, affordability of living, bills are too high. If they can't pay it back, that's actually very startling. It says JP Morgan Chase says its net charge-offs, which are delinquent debts that banks do not expect to receive, hit $2.2 billion in the second quarter of the year. The more I read this type of information where it doesn't seem like there is a solid solution, the more I remember people telling me when I first began the channel that there was a great reset coming. Remember that whole great reset verbiage, right? I'm thinking about that now. Those voices are those people, and what they said is resurfacing in my mind. I just don't see how these companies get out of this. And then the regular people that act as a substantial layer to everything that these companies do and build have been treated so terribly and put in such a bad position. I don't know how much further this can go. That's real thoughts. That's a $200 million increase from the previous quarter and an $800 million increase from Q2 of 2023. Meanwhile, Wells Fargo says its net charge-offs surged from $764 billion in Q2 2023 to $1.3 billion last quarter, a 70% increase, although the pace of inflation has reduced. Wells Fargo Chief Financial Officer Michael Santomassimo tells the New York Times that many customers are clearly struggling as their credit card balances rise and savings dwindle. I told people last year that was happening. How many people have actually kept up with the M2 money supply data? Right? It told us people's savings accounts were going to zero and they were maxing out their credit cards. So this is not news to us. It says, quote, inflation is still cumulatively having a bit of an impact. Inflation? They can't even find jobs. The jobs market is not what it appears to be. We're getting recruiters now. Not just regular people reporting on how they're applying to hundreds of jobs. They have bachelor's degrees. They have master's degrees. It's taken them months and hundreds of applications to find a job in the career. But now we're getting recruiters coming out exposing what's going on. This is according to them. I know you've probably seen the articles. I know. So I'm preaching to the choir probably. But they're saying how a lot of these job postings are, it's not really a position there. They're hiring internally, but to put the job posting out anyway makes it look like they're growing, but they're not actually hiring someone externally. Or sometimes there's not even a job. They're not going to hire anybody. They just take them through the interview process. It makes the company look healthier than what it is. So a lot of the people can't even get jobs. Then you throw in there inflation, shrinkflation, gougeflation, to give you less food, charge you more money. All of that stuff is coming at the same time. And it just seems that a lot of these article writers, I don't want to say the experts, because the experts are supposed to operate more like a sharp instrument, a sharp medical instrument, where they're very precise and they concentrate on one thing and then everyone else brings together all the information. But article writers are supposed to be a little bit more all-encompassing and kind of pull everything together, I would think. This is what I know to be article writers, researcher, reporters, right? Maybe not every reporter is a researcher, though, I would assume. But it looks like they're just looking at one piece. They're looking at the tree and they're not seeing the forest. But it says here, quote, inflation is still cumulatively having a bit of an impact. A bit of an impact? Why do you undersell it? It says the folks on the lower end of the wealth or income spectrum are struggling more than folks that are on the higher end, unquote. Yeah. And listen, take a look at that middle class as well. Look at that middle class. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because they're here talking like the people on the lower end. Really? You think that's it? Where do you live? Middle class is feeling it very, very badly in some areas. I don't know about where everybody else lives. I'm just telling you. So now, in addition to its charge-offs, JP Morgan declared an additional $500 million in losses from failing mortgage investments. U.S. banks have been sounding the alarm on its customers' growing credit card balances and issues in the commercial real estate industry since last year. They paired them both together. I do like that. I respect that. That was pretty good right there. All right, so we're going to stop there. We're going to end off here with a little bit of Bitcoin news. I'd like to see that. I thought I received a notification. It was one about XRP. The price went up and then it went down. And I thought, I'm very busy throughout the day. My apologies. Life has just been inundating me with so much lately. But I thought I saw, while I was doing other things, Bitcoin price go up a little bit. Is that correct? I think I saw that. Anyway, so now we're going to end off with a little bit of Bitcoin news, because if it's going back up, I'm happy. I am. That makes me happy a little bit. It's temporary, but I'll take some temporary joy. Why not? All right. So now this article here is titled, folks. I hope you all are feeling good. I hate to feel bad. That sounds silly, right? Everybody would hate to feel bad, but I don't know. It's what I'm feeling. It's what I'm thinking in my mind. I'm just telling you directly. But I hope you all are feeling great out there. You're doing well. You have good health, that you're receiving love and things of that nature. So now, I don't like to say the word wish. My father didn't like the word wish. He didn't like that. But I'm going to use it here because it's expedient. I wish for you the same things I would wish for myself. All the things that are good. So just how I feel. So now, this article here is titled $1 million Bitcoin Samson Mow. That's what they that's how they define Samson Mow. Now he's the $1 million Bitcoin person. He has a lot of good thoughts, in my humble opinion. You don't have to agree with his price. But anyway, the $1 million Bitcoin Samson Mow set to bring Germany back to crypto. All right, let's find out what Mr. Mow is doing today. I like Mow. Mow, he has some good thoughts and interesting thoughts. And he stands his ground. He does not run away just because the people are pressuring him. A lot of people run when the pressure is on. He does not run. I like that. I respect that. CEO of Pixelmatic has something to offer Germany this October. Germany has been selling so much and just body rocking that Bitcoin price. I don't know. Body rocking was like when people had devastating punches back in the day where I'm from, right? Let me just clarify that in case it means something else, Samson Mow, $1 million Bitcoin advocate. Why did they say that again? Has shared his view on the German government's massive sell-off of the country's national Bitcoin holdings, which imposed strong selling pressure on the lead cryptocurrency's price. He argues that Germany had to sell its Bitcoin holdings, which is seized from a film pirate website. What is going on in the world? A film pirate website? Oh, just like bootlegs. That's what they used to call it a long time ago in the city. Bootlegs. It says, due to the illegal nature of the funds, people were selling bootleg copies online and people were buying it. However, Mow believes that Germany needs to reacquire at least $50,000 in Bitcoin. What? As part of what he calls, quote, a proper nation state Bitcoin adoption strategy. Wait, what? They need to require $50,000. That has to be a wrong number. It has to be at least $50,000. That's such a small amount for a government, for a country. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, this had to be a typo. But he wants them to reacquire some kind of Bitcoin. That's the point. The entrepreneur even proposed developing a plan for this adoption strategy. I'm still reading. I'm still looking at that $50,000 price, like trying to figure out what they meant. But anyway, he wants to come up with an adoption strategy to implement this as early as October this year. Okay, so they have his it was a typo. It was a typo. They messed up here. Thank goodness they had the tweet crop this time. This is what it actually says. The German government had no choice but to dispose of the 50,000 Bitcoin seized from Movie 2K. However, this October, we should put together a concrete plan for Germany to reacquire at least 50,000 Bitcoin. That's what he said. Now, that makes sense. Okay, now that's reasonable. I understand that. It says in a proper nation state. So I guess Mao wants everybody to have... He wants everybody to have Bitcoin. I'm not mad at him. I'm going to make some money off of Bitcoin as well. I already did. I'm going to make some more. All right. So I get it. All right. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with this. So until next time, everybody, I appreciate you all. Love you all. Everybody that comes in and you watch the videos and you show support. Sometimes you might click the like button. Listen. Maybe you're a members only section. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I tell you, just in case I don't have a tomorrow, I love you from the bottom of my heart. I love you, and I hope somebody else tells you that. That's all I can say, man. And I'll say it every chance I get, because you never know what's coming the next day. And yeah. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.